Welcome to Joe's Bar. What conversation can we get started for you tonight?
Hello there, guys. Tonight we're starting off on Joe's Bar with a whole special little bit. Since it is the Christmas season, I'm going to be reading to you the curious case of the shit-faced Santa. Everyone settle down, get ready. Excellent. All right, here we go. It was near midnight on Christmas Eve when I got the call downtown to interview a hard case. You always get the weird stuff, said the pale little rookie leading the way to the interrogation room. He looked queasy. Yeah, it's one of the fringe benefits of being married to the chief's least favorite sister. So you have the report? Oh, I glanced at it. I didn't. Give me the details, quick and dirty. Well, there was a crash down at Elm and 5th. Huge explosion, left a crater in the street. 3 cars were destroyed. A crater? What kind of car wreck makes a crater? Was it a rolling meth lab? It wasn't a car, sir. It fell from the sky. We have the remains of a red wooden vehicle, splintered to hell, and carcasses about a dozen or so. Couldn't really tell how many since they were splattered all over the place. Carcasses? Deer. And some little teeny tiny people parts. And then there's this guy, completely unharmed. The rookie gave me a handkerchief smeared with Vicks Vapor Rub. You're going to want this, detective. I opened the door and the smell reached out and slapped me. It was hot, wet, and greasy like a tub of lard that had gone rancid. The rookie turned a lighter shade of green and lurched down the hallway to vomit into a well-used wastebasket. I pushed the cloth to my nose and snorted up a clod of Vicks into each nostril. My head swam from the menthol, but my roast beef dinner stayed down. The man inside was covered head to foot in shit. He was pacing, tweaking hard, grumbling in German and leaving splotchy foot-shaped shit stains all over the floor. I stepped inside the room and closed the door behind me, loudly. The man stopped and faced me. I'm Detective Stretcher. I'm here to take your statement. I opened the folder and read the name. Santa Claus? Well, he could have passed for St. Nick. He was fat, dressed in what looked to be red velvet in the spots that weren't creamy peanut butter brown, and had a long beard that was probably white when not covered in shit. But Santa Claus? Come on, don't jerk my chain. This is some meth baker with a concussion. Gott in Himmel, he said. You have to let me go. I took another hit of Vicks Vapor Rub and pulled out a seat and sat down at the table. Not before we get some answers to some questions. Nein, I do not have time. Der Kinder. I pointed to the empty chair. Please, the quicker you give me your story, the sooner we can both get back to our Kinder. He sighed, shook his head, and dragging his feet before slumping down into the chair. It is hopeless. I mean, done. Christmas kaput. All of it. I'm done. I pulled out my notebook and clicked my pen. So what happened? What made the crater? It was my sleigh. It crashed. My reindeer had troubles. I had to give the crackhead some credit for commitment to the bit. Reindeer troubles. Yeah, Frau Claus, she thought the reindeer were getting too fat. I told her it was of no consequence, that they flew as fast as they ever did, but she was determined. And, well, I have never been able to refuse her. He smiled and looked at me with a twinkle in his eye. You know what I mean, yeah? Yeah, I get it. Wife, worried about fat flying reindeer. I made a mental note to cross-reference that latest street slang. So, just continue. Oh, mein Dumpling, she started the team on a new diet. All was well, but I noticed that it made some of them, how do you say, breaking wind? So, your deer got gas. And that caused you to crash your car? Nein, not a car. Mein sled. Oh, the poor elves. Oh, my Liebchen. They're all dead. Poor Twinkle and Feeble and Happy Pot. Oh, how will I tell the others? I made more notes to check on missing children. So your sled, it also flew. Oh, nein, Dummkopf. It was the reindeer that flew. The sled was just dragged along behind. And that was why it all went wrong. Oh, shakrach. What a nightmare. So what? What happened? What caused you to crash into a busy street, destroying 3 cars, slam a hole into asphalt, and litter the area with carcasses? The reindeer, they became, what did you call it? Lactose intolerance? It started with the breaking of wind, and then, oh my God, an avalanche of scheiß Druckfall. It started in the front, flew backwards, blinding the reindeers, making it all the way back to the sleigh, and well, look, you can see with your own eyes. I tried to steer, but it was no good. We crashed, and now all is lost. Christmas is kaput, and I do not know, oh my God, I do not know how. The old man fell to the desk sobbing. I stuffed my notepad and pen in my coat and stood to leave. He didn't even notice me go. The white-faced rookie was waiting for me outside the door. So, man, what do you think? You think he's the real deal? What? Are you yanking me? You think you got Santa Claus here in a drunk tank? Well, no. I just wondered. The rookie shook and shuffled his feet. So what do we do with him? I looked at the clock on the wall. It read 12:30 a.m. It was officially Christmas Day. I don't care. Hose him down and let the psych boys deal with it. It's too late to do anything more now. Merry Christmas, rookie. The end. Da-da-da. Thank you. And on with the show.
Yes, awesome. We now have a tradition at Joe's Bar. Woo-hoo, thank you, Nikki. that was the night before Christmas. Shit-faced Santa. Which is the only way that we could do it indie and do it at Joe's Bar, right?
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining us.
Dark greetings, all.
The chat is already lively. Well, I should say JD's already lively.
Hey, JD. What's up, buddy?
JD says hello, and he says, greetings and salutations, fellow humans, and jerking and
Jerking and Vicks.
Gathering about.
Party without the Vicks, man.
Milk cookies and reindeer chips.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to learn this. I had to go on Google and find the German pronunciations and practice to make sure I could do half of that.
Nice. It was very good.
Impressive.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right. Well, before we get too far deep into conversations that we normally get into, let's just go around the room and say hello to all our patrons here tonight and my VIPs sitting with me. So, Ron, why don't you start us off, sir?
Hello, Merry Christmas. My name is Ron Lahr. I write fantasy, science fiction, humor. I have a humor science fiction novel coming out really quick. We're just working on the final details.
Oh,
but
nice.
This is the cover of my
yes,
fantasy book, Children of Cathaldi, the first of a trilogy so far. And you can go to my website, blah, blah, blah. Merry fucking Christmas.
Anita says it's a great story. So.
I would love that. I mean,
somebody's saying hello to you, Madilynn. Hey guys. All right, Anna, you want to tell everybody about yourself since you're the new person here and to.
Hey. Yeah, I'm a new kid on the block. So my name is Anna J. Walner. I under that name, I write young adult fantasy, paranormal romance, other genres that are in the YA/NA new adult area of literature. But Vanessa Morris is a pseudonym under which I explore very dark and adult topics. So I have different personalities as an author.
Nice. Awesome. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right, Nikki.
Oh, back to me again. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Nikki Nelson Hicks. I write a handful of stuff, speculative fiction, dark horror, murder mysteries, anything in place I can kill someone at. It's great fun. I'm basically just a slave to the voices in my head.
Or make Santa shit-faced.
Santa, yes, it was a challenge. Someone asked me to write a murder mystery or a mystery with using Santa, and so but I love a good challenge. If you challenge me to write something, I'm just going to do it. It's
nice. Awesome. All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. You killed it. It was fantastic. All right, Josh, tell everybody about yourself, sir. Tell everybody your milestone tonight too.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Josh Pintoloresco, writer, podcaster, broadcaster, because I'm all these things now. I host a show for myconsultant.ca. I do my podcast, which most people know for Just Joshing, which hit its 700th episode this morning. I had a guest from the Netherlands. It was a fun conversation. I'm also a writer. My latest release is Alice 1, involves croquet in the underworld with Jason of the Argonauts. That's actually, and it's been getting some nice reviews so far, including from a certain Joe Compton. Thank you very much, good sir. I've stolen it liberally. And working on my next, I also illustrate a little bit too. So I'm just one of those jack of all trades kind of dudes.
Yeah, it's a fantastic read, everybody.
It is good. It is very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it tremendously. It's a nice take on things you know. So.
Yeah.
All right, Madilynn. Madilynn is out there. She's like all over the place. How long have you been up? You've been up a lot lately.
I have.
She's doing a party right now, everybody.
Yes, I am. My Facebook has a party going on right now. It's not as crazy as I planned for it to be, which I'm kind of thankful for. But I've been really busy today. Actually, it started when I picked up my son. I came home and my dog had eaten an entire box of chocolate. So we've actually been at the vet on top of being on a podcast tonight. She's good now. I couldn't get her stomach cleaned out, so we had to go take her to the vet and let them do it. It's awesome. So, note to self: when you have a dog that likes to dig into presents, don't wrap chocolate. But yeah, so guys, I write paranormal fantasy romance. I'm trying to explore it to like a little bit of mystery and stuff. But I have a book coming out in January, Black Flames. It is a smutty dark romance. So for you guys that like the smutty stuff, check it out. And my website is right here. You can find me on and my social media and my books here. So
yeah, I read the first couple pages, and I can tell you it hits you right in the face right from the beginning. So,
that's what I was going for. Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah.
And
I'm really excited to dig into it.
Up in the party group right now, guys, giving away smart copies. So
there you go. Yeah, go get yourself a copy, everybody, because it's going to be awesome. And our new friend Double A says, "I'm excited to check out all these books." Yeah, please do. I am Joe Compton. This is Going to Now. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to just quickly mention that tonight my choice is St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. Belgian EBL. I'm just celebrating the holidays, and I'm starting a beard, so we'll see how that goes. You might see me after the holidays with a nice. I might look like Santa Claus, literally, because
you should have started earlier in preparation for the holidays.
Yeah.
I just had the idea to do it. I just got past the itchy phase yesterday. Yesterday was the itchy day, and it was. But and usually when I don't get past that, I usually shave it after that because it just drives me insane. But
it must be weird. It must be weird to have all that on your face. It just, as a woman, I don't.
I can't imagine it. Like it, yeah.
It's you get. It's like anything else. It's weird, like for the first few days, and then you don't even notice it's there anymore, to be honest.
It's like you get this like itch for like, well, okay, the first time I did it, you get this weird like itch, like you want to scratch it, and it's not quite a scratch you need to. It's like it's weird, but it's there. And then after about like again, it takes about a day or two, but once you got it, right? So I still occasionally, because I still can't at 40 years old, I still can't grow a full beard. Right. I get some fuzz points here and there, but the goatee, I don't feel it at all. Yeah. So
though, it would be like having you guys, try and shave your legs like we do. I mean, that would just feel real awkward for y'all. But
yeah,
that's why I love winter. I mean, wintertime is
Nikki is actively participating in No Shave November. Well, December.
Oh, pretty much most of the time. I'm menopausal. Screw it. I don't need this crap anymore. So it's pretty much Chewbacca from the waist down. No.
I hear you. I hear you need, especially it was -30 earlier today here. So
I'm in Texas. It's like 70 something degrees, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 63 here. So
It's
Yeah.
60 degrees
I
and
think
wet.
on the way home today it was like 85, and I'm like, this is not full like
This is
Christmas,
crazy.
yo.
Yeah.
Like at all.
JD says it's an annoying itch, and then your beard decides to absorb the aroma of most of your
Yes,
jokes.
it is.
Do you smell it?
So true.
As a writer, I need to know these things. Do you do you smell the ugh.
You
can.
It's not always.
I'll beard oil mine. So once it gets
my
to a
husband.
point,
Hey Brian, what's your beard look like right now? Come show. Come show. This is his beard right now. Although he's had actually like all the way up mustache and stuff.
oh, that's cool.
Oh my God, hipsters will stop him in a bar to look at his, especially he's wearing his kilt and everything. Oh my gosh, he's the worst. Yeah, I can't take him anywhere.
JD wants to give you Wookiee love.
Look it up, baby. And make some fire.
Hey, JD, you gotta do like the Wookiee cry, like that. That's how you know it's Wookiee love.
JD says it was 69 in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was warm here. I'm in Tennessee.
Perfect temperature for the conversation we're having currently.
Yes.
But
warm and wet. Ooh. Okay. This is
Anyway.
getting nasty, Joe. Take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I've got
you got two romance authors. Like I mean, with all due respect to those two ladies, I mean, if they were a little older, we already be all blushing red at this point. Dirtiest. I'm not kidding. Like the dirtiest minds I've ever. What?
Women are the worst. We are the dirtiest minds ever.
Oh yes, but romance writers take it to another level.
Another level. Yeah,
they're another level above. I did a romance conference in Calgary. The oldest ladies had me blushing like a schoolboy. I know they had it. They got me going.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I'm out of my depth because the beautiful thing is they don't give a shit. So it's fun conversation, but at the same time, it's like I'm blushing. Like, you got them blushing in like 30 seconds. That's all it took. Like they
educational.
Yeah, it was.
I was lucky. Yeah, I was lucky enough to have the Queen of Spice, Katie Robert, on my YouTube network last week, and my God, off camera was the most amazing, most amazing conversation. She is such an amazing human being, so down to earth. I mean, just talked for like an hour or so off camera.
But straight up, I will say this: like I had a great appreciation. I've said this before. Like I actually let a lot of romance writers just come on my show just for the simple reason is they underrated. It's a very underrated genre, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of skill. And I learned a lot of respect. Also, I don't have as dirty a mind as I thought, and I'm okay with that.
Have you read Karina's book? Have you read Karina's book, Broken Chains?
No, I haven't read Karina's book. I right now I'm beta reading one of Kat Hudson's books right now, one of her romance. Yeah. Like
she can get dirty.
No, like me and Kat, you've seen us on the air. We click really well. Like we're really good buds. So it's just like I'll do it. Probably Elisa Palmer's really good. Like she's actually really, really good. Generally for my taste though, I like to go into like the fantasy, the borderline paranormal romance. That's Lana Andrews is about as far as I like to go personally. That's just me. So
I really enjoyed Karina's book as you might have read on my review blog, but it's interesting because she doesn't hold anything back. That's Karina for you. Karina's like that in real life, so it's very refreshing to kind of have a person who writes how they you perceive them a little bit, even if it's a romance book. But you also see a lot of the heart and character that Karina has in it too, and that's really what I loved about it, about the idea of it. But sure. it gets really dirty.
Karina's a world class. She's world class. I think she underestimates herself. I can actually say this. I've had everybody but Emma on the show, so I have high opinions of all of you. Madilynn just came on the show this week, so
yeah. And got to make an awesome appearance on that show.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah,
He decided to jump up and down on a present in the background.
Yeah,
Part
so you know where you stand in the world when a 3-year-old takes over your show. Like you know where you stand in the world when you have that moment. So but it was still a fun show. I actually got a hoot out of watching her negotiate with her son. It was funny.
I'm waiting for Ron's cat to go across the screen because that's usually the key that our show's on point. So
my wife bought a like a cat heating pad that lays on the bed. It's big enough for all 3 of the cats, and it's cold here. It's like right now it's probably 15 degrees, and so they like never leave it. So we may not see him. Lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Come on, you've got a show cat now. You have to perform. You know.
Well, as soon as he became famous, he got very temperamental, very
diva.
Yeah, total diva.
Yeah, it's like
total diva.
So you gotta come up with like the kitty dance song. That'll get him to go. That'll get him.
Kitty ego.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I bet you if it's a diva, just call its name. It'll come running.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, piece of shit. I'm just kidding. His name's Jasper. Although we do have a cat. His name is Felix, but he's lost control of his bowels. He's 15 years old. But he's not in any pain, so my wife won't let me kill him. And, put him to sleep.
Oh.
And
there's a big distinction there, Ron.
He just shits everywhere. And we don't call him Felix anymore. We call him Shitstorm. He's a delight. Total delight.
No. So here's the thing. This is how you know cats are smarter than dogs. Cats know when you swear at them. They know it. They actually know it. Dogs, you can say, that's a good little shit. That's a good little shit. Cat, right? A cat, you try that with a cat will just give you a dirty look. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, all right, so.
I will destroy everything you own.
They plot to kill you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have
can't do that
cats.
with a cat. You just can't. Yeah. They know it. Like they just deep down they know it. You're insulting them. They may not know what you're saying, but they're like, "That's bad. We're gonna get his ass." So.
Oh yeah, grunge dumps. That's what happens to me. They'll come in here and do a grunge dump.
Oh yes, just leave it. You're like, really?
So many different reasons why I'm not a cat person.
It makes things entertaining though, having cats. Like for real.
I have a 2.5-year-old. She's entertaining enough.
Yeah, kids are definitely up there.
And she's just learned how to say what the fuck. So that's nice. You know.
That is nice.
Great parent.
Does she run around saying that? Does she repeat it over and over again? Or just one time?
Sometimes or shit. And I'm like, I gotta start watching my mouth, a little bit. She's at that age where she's gonna start to like if I can curb my potty mouth now, then she might have a chance. Either that or I'm gonna have multiple visits to the like preschool.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm already anticipating that.
My kids
She's got an attitude. She has mommy's attitude for real.
Well, my kids are grown, so they are not interesting at all. But when the oldest was very young, my practice wife's mother was very religious. And this was back in the days of VHS tapes. And she would bring like Christian VHS tapes over that were cartoons. And we said, look, we're going to teach her what we want to teach her, please let us make the decisions about what we say to our kids about religion. And she did not respect that. So instead, I taught my daughter to say in a sing-song manner, I love the devil. Satan is my friend. And so my wife and I are sitting on the couch and my daughter was, 3-4 years old.
Oh my God.
So she's saying it because I'm telling her to say it. And then we're laughing. So then she's screaming it. She's jumping up and down and screaming. I got tears coming down my face. All I could say is,
Ron,
send her
this
over
is the
to
next
her
thing I'm
grandma's.
teaching my kid.
So we send her over to
Satan is my
grandma's. Yeah. So we send her over to grandma's house. Never got another fucking VHS tape. Totally won. I mean, I don't know if I've ever had a more complete victory. And a beautiful memory.
And a beautiful memory.
Yeah.
That's I think takes the cake tonight. I don't know where how
Yeah,
you top
you
that.
We could end
I
the
don't know how
show
you
now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, we made Josh speechless at Joe's bar tonight. I'm
Yeah. That's
We're
why
not even
how
that
do you
far
top that?
and gave Anna new ideas to teach her kid.
Yeah.
I guess I should write a parenting
indoctrinated
book now.
We
You
indoctrinated
should
the
write a
new person
parenting
and
book.
found out she's one of us.
Yes.
She Google Gaga, she's one of us. Google Gaga, she's one of us. Yay! Welcome to the fray, Anna. We're so happy you're here.
Yes.
And wow, if she had a cough, that would have been fantastic. I don't.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Elaborate, JD.
Yeah.
Hey, I watched The Flying House.
Yeah, what's a flying house?
I think it's one of those. Religious tapes.
Wouldn't know, man.
Oh.
Complete heathen
I don't know
here.
either.
My children have
Yeah.
never been inside a church. Neither one of them, and they'd have no freaking clue what to do. So
I have the burn marks to prove
Yeah.
I've been inside churches before, but yeah.
okay, that doesn't count, Brian. Okay, Brian's telling me how my daughter went into the church. It was this Istvan church, Saint Matthias Church in Budapest, is where Dracula actually got married when he was, king of Balika. Anyway, it doesn't count as going to
Sounds
church.
like it does. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like,
it kinda
you can argue
does.
it. I can
but I
hear it.
didn't know we were supposed to have our spouses here to fact check us.
I don't know what
I
he's
mean,
doing
mine
here. What are
normally
you doing
hangs
here,
out
Brian?
over here, but our son is actually not asleep yet tonight, guys, which is
I was gonna say all I have is my
Oh.
kid, and she's passed out. So
yeah.
Both of my kids are passed
We're
out.
back up.
They're adults. So,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Biblical cartoons.
And as for who needs Santa when you have Satan, that we all know Satan is Santa. There, JD, he works
Yes.
for Coca-Cola. That's that.
My kids grew up with way too much Ren and Stimpy, and that's what I blame. I blame way too much Ren and Stimpy. So when they end up going to counseling, which they have, the therapist.
I wonder if today's kids are going to blame Rick and Morty. That's what I'm wondering.
I love Rick and Morty. That is so much better than Ren and Stimpy.
There
See,
you go. Anita's with you.
Okay,
Hey, just because you like the place, Anita, does not mean it doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Well, that does make sense.
Yeah.
She might have been after all the screaming she did that
Oh
night.
yes, the whole.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I love the devil. Satan.
Well, I apologize, Maddie, if your son is absorbing any of this. I
He's
apologize.
not. He cannot hear
Oh,
any
it's
of
too
it.
late.
Okay.
He's on the other side of the house with
Good.
Dad. They were reading. Well, okay. When I went to get the wine pre-show thing, they were like, he whistled, and I almost got stuck in the room. I was like, I gotta go. They're starting. So I was like, you need to be asleep. Go to sleep.
I noticed you're doing white tonight. Is that white red? Is that white red?
Yeah,
wine?
it's a Riesling.
Oh, cool.
Riesling.
Drank
Okay.
all of my reds that came in because I do a wine subscription thing with
Yes,
Brighton
we did
Cellars,
that.
guys. And
We
I'm
did that,
kind of
yes.
Not a
addicted.
sponsor, but they should be.
No, dude. So I love the choices they sent me, but this one's actually sweeter than what I would go for, especially for the
I
show.
see.
But I'm out of reds, and I did not make it to the store today because of the dog incident. So
Yeah. My husband went to the store and got me some wine because I was all out. So he's like, "Let me get you buzzed to get you wasted before the show." So
Well,
I don't understand what you mean.
Total Wine always supplies me, but they're not a sponsor either. And I will say this beer is very nice. It's very smooth, very robust. Yeah, it's kind of it's got kind of a cider taste to it, but it's like one of those like apple ciders, like a really stronger cider kind of idea to it.
Yeah.
But
that sounds
it's
pretty
got that
good.
spice to it. It's got like it says it has spices in it, so it does have. You can taste that right off the top of your palate. But it really is smooth, and I'm really concerned because I'm halfway through it, and it's 10%. So
you're
by the
gonna
time
feel
this
so
show
good
ends,
tomorrow.
I might be incoherent. So Nikki, you might actually be ending the show as you began it. So just get ready. But,
I didn't know
yeah,
one
that
could
means
run
it's
out of
good.
alcohol.
Where he goes, I love you. Oh, man.
I do that anyway, Josh. You know that I do that so.
although I think Ron is going to beat us all because he's been hitting that drink really hard, guys.
Thank you.
everybody's gonna beat me because I'm sober. So
I'm sober at the moment. I had ice. I'm having ice cream and now I'm enjoying my ice cream. I have some vodka I can grab a little bit later on. That's
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like New Year's Eve and the up and coming New Year's Eve, which everybody, if you aren't aware, we will be live on New Year's Eve, doing a live stream as we did last year. So I'm really excited about that, and everybody's invited to come join us and hang out.
I'll be a guest there that night because I'm
everybody who wants to come on, I'll send out the link to anybody, and if they want to come on, they can come hang. You don't have to hang. You don't have to hang all night. You can hang out a little bit of time. You can hang out you can come in and just do the countdown and then leave. I don't care. Or you can just hang out in the chat. I don't care either way. Whatever way you want. I'm just gonna. I'm all alone, so I might as well just perpetuate my loneliness and hope that my internet friends pick me up. So there you go.
Oh, that's
We'll
the
be here.
saddest thing ever.
Okay.
So
But
JD,
I just got to warn you, Joe. If there's any temptation to slow dance, I'm gonna just let you go with it.
So many. Oh yeah, no slow dancing. No.
Would it be copyright infringement if it was just you and I and we decided to draw? Would that be copyright infringement in your mind?
Nah, we could totally do it. We can have Ron. Ron actually drew on me the last time he was on the show.
Yeah, I did. I missed that one. That's one's in my
That's
queue.
too
I
bad.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually thought that was pretty brave because I like it was the first time I had somebody that was like, hey, I just want to draw. Like she came to me, it was like, oh my gosh, okay, sure, well, what can we draw?
better.
I'm the experienced artist. This is weird.
JD, you've had this then, so good. Yeah, it is really good. It is Christmassy. It feels very Christmassy. So
does it pack such a wallop that you can't spell?
what do you mean?
Put JD's comment up.
Ah,
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
autocorrect. Come on, guys. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
You
Never.
can't autocorrect in YouTube comments anyway. So once you put it up there, you can't correct it.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
there
It's there for prosperity for sakes and eternity's sake. So there you go, JD.
Sorry,
Just keep
JD.
kicking on it.
We still love you, bud.
Everyone thinks you're illiterate now.
He's one
I
of
hate everyone.
he's one of my dearest friends. So I think a little bit of
Oh, JD
rousing
is great.
He is awesome. Mhm.
He is awesome.
All of you guys are
He
awesome.
seems too nice. Suspiciously too nice.
No.
He's up there on like sweetest guys I've interviewed. Like honestly, he's up there on that list. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Thank you.
phenomenal interview. He's a phenomenal guy, and if I wanted this to be about JD, I would have put this as a JD show.
hey, listen, we can say nice things about other people. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
right?
He's
absolutely.
No,
blushing
if
as
you're
he's
gonna
watching
do
us,
it
guys.
though, I would appreciate if you'd say allegedly.
Allegedly.
He's allegedly a really nice guy.
Allegedly.
He's allegedly
Or
very
so I'm
Well,
told.
I've personally verified he's a nice guy, so I can say he's a nice guy. So I'm not going to put the allegedly there. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
You
Welcome to
ran
Joe's
my
Bar,
problem.
Anna.
Yeah.
It's like I
Apparently I'm-
can't top this.
Apparently, I'm a mean drunk.
Hey,
drunk
Matt,
I don't think you're.
On
I
one
don't think you're
drink?
drunk,
Good
Ron.
I
Lord.
was gonna say, I'm like, what?
No.
Madilynn, can I have a question for you, author, really quick. Since we both write, or I have a smutty book with a lot of triggers. Do you incorporate?
Below me.
What is this? Oh, y'all gonna hate me over a typo? Oh, hey, do you in addition to putting the trigger warnings? I don't know if your books have triggers or not.
Oh, this one coming out does. I put it in the works
Okay.
page this time instead. Of
You
putting it
do,
on-
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was a very that was a tough
Yeah.
decision whether it was going to or not.
Right.
But it does have more triggers than
I was
my
just
other
curious.
series does, and it's definitely way steamier. Like it's gonna make people like Josh blush. So.
Reading it.
Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, I put all of the hotlines for child trafficking and suicide and self-harm and things like that at the back of the book. But I was just wondering if you felt like, having them on your website was enough. But I did put them on the on the after the copyright page.
Yeah.
So
No, I
just
think you
to
guys are
make
close,
sure.
This
You
is
all
my
noticed how
opinion, but
you all noticed how astute Anna was because she realized that the four of us were too crass to even care about trigger warnings. She went right to the person that she thought was really going to be on
Well,
be with her.
No, it's just because Madilynn had already mentioned that she said the magic word SUMT, that smut. It just
it gets sexy,
my ears.
You know?
So, I was like, I got to make it a point to ask her.
JD wants to know how we all feel about trigger warnings on books. So how do you feel Anna, about that? Is it something you didn't want to do?
Well,
I didn't
honestly,
want.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't,
go ahead.
I didn't want to put mine on there, but I did because of some other trigger warnings. And there are readers that are like, they'll get halfway through the book and they will give you the crappiest review in the world because of that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to trigger you, but it's there. So if anybody wants to ever complain, even if they don't see the trigger warnings in the works cited page, still there.
That's good. That is true.
Yeah.
I do feel like I do feel like, especially with some very heavy topics that are in my book, which are, female sexual assault and rape, pedophilia, things like that. I think that they have to be there because there are people who have experienced that sort of trauma, and you do not want to put your readers through that kind of traumatic experience by having them read your book without knowing what is in the book. But I also feel like it's a little bit of a spoiler because while those difficult topics really need to be discussed so that the main character can go through that traumatic experience and have her come out the other side and see that progression and change in mental health and outlook on her life, I don't want to give away those I don't know, they almost feel like spoilers.
Almost.
If you're going to learn to read, you deserve whatever you get. And in my book,
I read Valley of the Dolls when I was in 6th grade, y'all. No trigger warnings there.
No trigger warnings. No.
And it made you the person you are today. But in my book,
well, that's
as you are.
Good point.
That's why I'm in therapy. Okay, that's why I'm in therapy.
So anyway,
that's why I write this shit.
In my book, you're as stupid as you are fat. How to talk to women.
Oh my God, that! Oh,
I
you are
encourage
going to be
virgins to have sex with a fat chick or a retard
you
to
are so
get over their
crucified.
virginity. And now this person who wrote to me had done it before they read the book. They weren't following my advice, but he had fucked a retard, and he was like, it was awful.
You use the R word. Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
okay,
awful.
So I'm of two minds on this. I think there's definitely a valid case for it for sure, but I also my own personal experience. I read Robert Heinlein Post Stranger in a Strange Land growing up. I didn't mean to, so it was like you do in literature you do find surprises along the way. But I think this is the thing I worry about when I mention trigger warnings. Is I'm not saying that you won't want to say a good interpretation of an event. But I also think that it can color your perception of what's being talked about too. So I think it really depends on the story you're telling. I don't really think that. Look, I put a motivation about no isn't no forever, and someone mistook that for a sexual crime. Once you saw that, it's like, well, I guess you can't see that anymore. You know, I've never ever posted anything like that ever, reference that ever. Someone took it like that. So interpretation is unique to everybody. And no matter what you do, you always have the risk of offending, people go awry, all that stuff. That's always going to be there. So, but where I do think they're valuable, where they can be valuable, is if you're going into an arena where that there's going to be some kind of, but even so, I'm borderline careful with that because moment you say trigger warning, you create an expectation you may not want for your story. So I'm more of a less is more kind of guy on that. I trust that a reader going to pick up my book is going to come to their own conclusions. Also, unlike Madilynn, I don't give a shit about 1-star reviews. Great, keep piling them up. Right. I don't give a shit. Just keep piling them up. I don't care. What I care about. This is what I care about. If I create a story, it's interesting. I make you think, and if the trigger warning will help me with make you think, then I'll use it. If it doesn't, if it automatically shuts the brain off, I don't want it anywhere in my book. Because we have this tendency, the moment we put stuff like that on there, we create that, box, I can shut my brain off. Sometimes I don't, I hate that shit. So that's just on a personal level. I just hate it. So I rather you engage.
I find trigger warnings almost like a challenge. Really? Bring it. Okay, you think you're going to freak me out? Bring it. But then again, when you think about like the X-Files episode of the Peacock family, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, when that, oh my God. When that show first came out, it was one of the first X-Files shows that actually had a trigger warning, had a little, that show burned into my brain. And my sister and I still joke about it. We still joke about the Peacock family and the mom underneath the bed being rolled out on the thingies and no arms, no legs and all that. Oh, crap. That show, it's really good. It's a great show. Well written.
Mass inbreeding. The effects of mass inbreeding.
Yes. So fucked up. It was well done. But yes, I understand why that show needs a trigger warning. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, a part of me is kind of like, bring it. Whenever I'm watching television and I see something that says blah, 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 these things, I'm like, really? Bring it.
Yeah, some people do gravitate toward that, especially on TikTok, smut talk, spicy talk, things like that.
I'm not big on, I don't like sexual assault. That creeps me out really bad. Pedophilia, that just creeps me out really bad. I like to know what I'm getting into. If I'm going to be reading that.
See, and that's the point, because you don't know who is still undergoing treatment for PTSD, having gone through a situation like that with unrecovered or, unprocessed childhood trauma.
Yes,
you don't want them to read a situation like that is triggering now. Having gone through, the situations in the book, I have processed, and this is my catharsis and the way that I have chosen to purge myself of that,
Exactly.
But
I see what you mean. Trigger warnings almost being kind of a spoiler.
And they can be. Yeah, they can be.
Yeah,
Which is why I sit in them nonchalantly, where readers half the time don't even pay attention,
it's so iffy.
It's like I said, I'm up two minds of it, right? Like there are situations where I definitely could see it, but to be perfectly honest, I think less is more. That's just my opinion on it.
I would legit cry if I brought up a traumatic memory and experience for someone that made them relapse into say an addiction or something like that by reading the book. I mean, I would take that so hard as an author, it might make me stop.
But at the same time, you never know what would trigger that, right? So at the same token,
I mean, there's a point on that too, where there is I'm not saying, hey, deliberately write something to damage somebody, but there is you never know what the impact your work is going to have, and to some degree, that is the reader, that isn't you. It's not your book anymore; it's theirs. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, that will always be the case. So
I just do care about the readers, and I do want to protect them as much as I can.
Yeah, great for your marketing.
They can.
It is, yes.
No, they totally can. It really depends on. I do think genre does kind of play a role with that too, to some degree.
And context does too.
Yeah. So,
which is why mine's like in the dark fantasy stuff. Like it's kind of like you're going to expect some darker kind of stuff.
Because if you look at if you look at Nita's stuff, right, she writes horror, and she mentioned this. Horror, it has those kind of indoctrinated in them. It's kind of how sick can I make you, right? That's the kind of idea behind horror, or how scared, right? So the trigger warnings don't necessarily apply anymore because of that genre and the context of which you're applying it. So.
But there is a difference, in between psychological horror and say splatterpunk horror.
Right, splatter. Oh,
Sure. But
So-
even in that, but even in
You know,
both-
has anyone ever read Cows by Matthew Stokey? I mean,
never
that's the kind of thing that, is written for pure shock value. I will not even discuss the book. If you read, just look at a review on Amazon on it, and you can get some gist of what the book is about. But it is absolutely disgusting. And it's written for shock value alone.
You're talking to a guy that read Orrin Ellis and Garth Ennis. I hate to break this to you. Shocking Me is a lot harder on the page than maybe the average. Warren Ellis would deliberately do some shocking things. Has like a horror seconds that's deliberately shocking. Strange Killings, Stranger Killings, that kind of stuff. Garth Ennis writes a lot of war stuff that some of it very potent, very real, but also very graphic in situations. But again, it's the expectations of what they're bringing to the table. Going in, you're going to get those things when you take those books. So you're like I said, I'm of two minds. There's a point where you gotta go, okay, I gotta trust the reader's going to do what's best for them. You have to have that at some point. And so that's me. Now, again, everybody might have a different line of where that is. And I totally get that. But at the end of the day, your book, once it's out there, it isn't just your book anymore. It's theirs, and how they see it, how they imagine it, and how they interpret it.
Yeah, I haven't read the book you're talking about.
Terrifying.
But there is an indie movie that caused a stir called Lamb from Iceland that was very, very polarizing and interesting in that respect. So.
Yeah, it's I think that, and that's why I differentiated from Anna J. Walner, which is the kind of the paranormal romance where it's a little more light and fluffy, lighthearted, and it's towards a younger audience. And then so I did not want to put Anna J. Walner on the Nymphetamine Girls because I didn't want anyone to pick it up thinking, oh, this is going to be like something else I've read from her. So I created an entirely different name for branding purposes.
And again, not unheard. And that's not unheard of. I think the answer though, I think for everybody is this: we all have our own kind of lines of what we feel that is, and you got to be responsible. Yeah. You got to do what's in your conscience in terms of I did everything I could do, right? Yeah. But I think all of us at some point have to also say this too. Okay, I've done everything I think I can do. I got to trust them, right? I got to trust them, and that's just the way it is. Right.
And just deal with the idea that somebody might get offended. I mean, it happens. It's just the way it is. You just don't know what you could say that would do that. So you can't prepare for all of that. It's just not possible. So
there's a Goodreads slam on the Uluru Legacy series because I use the Aboriginal term Uluru, but I'm not from Australia. I'm an American, and I shouldn't be writing about Australia, even though my biological father was Australian and I was adopted by an American couple. I can't control who adopted me, but I do have Australian heritage. I'm like, oh my God.
Why does it matter? It's a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's fantasy as well. I mean, it's like, would you have rather I use the British colonizer term Ayers Rock? No, I wanted to pay homage to the Aboriginal culture by using the correct name of Uluru.
Right. That's crazy time. Okay, good.
I mean, people get offended over, anything.
Fuck those people.
Yeah, everybody's going to find something to nitpick and not like and be pissy about. It's just going to be like, kick rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, somebody really needs to get on J.R.R. Tolkien. He cannot write about Mordor. He's never fucking been there.
Right.
Or it's like, okay, so JD is like Bridge to Terabithia. You guys ever read that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yes.
I read that in 6th grade and bawled my freaking eyes.
Oh my God.
I was having the opposite reaction. I was just thinking about how taboo Lady Chatterley's Lover was when I read it as a 14-year-old, and now I'm thinking about how tame that book is compared to what I've read recently.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And how everybody when I was growing up, that was the book that oh, you read that? Oh, how dare you?
Hey, Flowers, what is it? Flowers for Algernon and
up as a kid. Oh God.
I mean, some of the stuff that we read, we're told to read, in school. I mean, you go back and you reread it, and you're like, "This was required reading."
Read it? Yeah,
Well,
like
Did they
where the
ever read
Redfern Rose. There's stuff in there.
Yes!
I'm like, what? Why did we read this? Like,
The
I mean, yes, I
lottery.
bawled out my eyes out at the end because the dog died. But like, come on.
I was
Well,
like in ninth grade, and they showed the lottery as a short film, in which you show these people basically, stoning to death a housewife. The lottery, Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, and
Oh my
I'm
God.
sitting there like 14 years old, going, "What the fuck did I just watch? What was this? And we're supposed to talk about this? What the fuck is this? Yeah, but
You all might have been too young to remember The Last Temptation of Christ and the
I remember.
absolute shit show that created.
Shit show,
Yeah.
yes.
And I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest directors recognized a period in Martin Scorsese, and he just got destroyed for that film.
Don't touch Jesus, man. People get really pissy about Jesus.
Well, I mean, one of the most brutal
Oh,
movies.
yes, Anita. Lord of the Flies messed me up so
Oh,
bad. I read that
yes.
as an adult.
Piggy. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh no, Lord of the Flies. There's
That's like
some
some.
truth with that concept, unfortunately. I mean,
that deals with. I mean, that's some serious shit. I mean, these little kids start killing each other off one by one, man. Fuck.
no, it's the fact that we all can let the whole idea behind Lord of the Flies is we can let our worst nature win, and that's what happens.
Yeah, you have a good point.
Yeah, and
Joe, are you
Joe, are you okay?
I'm
yeah,
afraid Joe has left the building.
Joe,
Okay.
is that 10% ABV kicking in?
No, but that was just too funny. Sorry. We have similar senses of humor, so it was
You and I?
Oh,
No. It was tight.
Oh.
No, JD's
Oh,
comment about
the
how
soundtrack.
the
Great
last
soundtrack, though.
Yes, dark humor in a lot of times. A little bit.
The ale
But
has
no,
taken
I think one of the big things about I think one of the big things about what I've learned in life and just even in good fiction, dark shit happens in fiction, and it should.
Mhm.
Because
And
the
in
world's
real
a
life.
yeah, it's a nasty place. The world is a mean and nasty place. It always has been, and it always will be.
Always will be.
Yeah, so trying to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I mean, to some degree. I mean,
I also believe that there's a cathartic release with dealing with that inside of fiction.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the best part about it. I mean, the best fiction shows us how to deal with those dark things,
Exactly.
how
How
to
to kill the
confront those
dragon.
things.
Right, and if there's one, the two main protagonists are two girls who are 18 that are in love with being worshipped by faceless men on the internet, and the self-esteem issues and the psychological issues that they face because of that, and the substance abuse issues that incur because of that, and then things. But if it resonates with one person and it makes them reevaluate maybe something that they're doing, or says, "Hey, I know someone like this," then it's worth it, for all the 1-star reviews.
Mhm.
Exactly. I agree.
If I can help just one child.
God help us all. If
Yeah,
somebody takes your book seriously, God help us all.
I know.
Yeah. Ron, I'm curious. You have a different drink now. It's in a different glass.
Yeah, I'm drinking some
Absolutely. Great point, Ken.
Menage a Trois silk.
Yes, it is.
Soft red
Ooh.
blend.
Can be.
Ew,
Uh,
menage a trois. Ugh. Is it good? I mean,
I mean, it's wine.
it's
Menage a Trois are always
Say it
good.
like
dead
it-
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Menage a Trois, is this the best year for this? I don't know. But
no, it's not.
well, 'cause
Any
some of
year's
their
a good
stuff,
year.
some of their stuff, there's a big difference. I think Midnight, the 2018's awesome. The 2019 people don't like as much.
What's the
But-
difference? Like if
But
you're
I drink it.
if you're comparing wine lines, we're talking about Merlot versus Mad Dog 2020 versus
Oh God.
Chateau de Blie. Where does Menage a Trois fall on that spectrum?
That's
Well,
a
it's just
brand, right?
It is a
Well, Naja Twas,
Yeah, this wasn't good.
the winery. This is Silk, is the particular blend, and it's
a red
just
blend. It's basically
yeah,
all the
soft
craft they
red
put
blend.
together. Yeah.
compared to the
sometimes
rum
red
and
blends
coke
aren't
I was
good.
drinking before. It's not as sweet, less caffeine.
Less caffeine.
I gotta find a wine like that.
That's
I'm not
my
a wine
review.
guy. I've never been a wine guy, but I find them too sweet, and for me,
God, no.
I'd rather
I'm a-
them be very bitter.
I'm a dry guy. I'm dry. I like
I
my
have to
dry
do a
wines.
semi-dry. Like if it's too sweet,
Ugh.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But this is the semi-dry. Like that's
It
But
depends
I find
on my
that
mood.
if it's not sweet, doesn't it take the taste out of it a little bit?
No.
No?
It's got a
There's ones that
rich-
can,
it's a very
Philistine.
rich taste. It's much richer. It's just it's deeper. I hate sweet.
the closest I came to
Apothic is
enjoying
good.
one.
Apothic Dark, they have good years and they have bad years.
Chris does
But,
not
yeah.
drink rum and coke. Just FYI, that often. So
I drink.
no, you
That's-
don't.
That's
Jack
sad for
and
him.
Coke.
Okay, Captain.
But
Yes,
That's
but
about it.
I love how we have both the husbands on both corners, talking off screen. That's pretty funny.
Oh, Ryan is
I don't know
very
if you saw
quiet
me, but I
now.
tossed him headphones a second ago. He was complaining that I was too loud.
Bringing out World War I airplane.
Okay.
You missed last month, Anna, when Chris kept feeding her wine and passing
Yeah.
it.
God.
No. He didn't feed me. He took it away. He took
Yeah,
the bottle
he-
away.
He was policing
You
her.
had enough.
Yes.
You, as the adult in the room.
Yes, it is. One like art is subjective.
Yes. He took like a crash course when he worked at Olive Garden way back in the day.
Oh,
But
He's
he
a
does have good
sommelier.
recommendations.
She got
I did get cut off. Yeah.
That must have been an interesting bedtime activity there, Chris. Did you have to drag her to the bed?
A couple of feet.
A couple of feet.
You can't make me go to.
He rolled me from the computer to the bed.
I'm not tired. You're tired. Yeah.
Then you fall asleep because you have to have
The show's still on. The show's still on.
Still going. Leave me here. I love you, Abby.
We love you, Chris. We love you.
Yeah. Chris is like, what did I unleash into the world? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
You know,
love.
he really has, because he's been super supportive with me being an author and helping me. Like,
No comment. Want to stay married?
Good for you, bud.
Smart man. Smart man.
Good for
I'm
you.
just saying, I don't throw around the word love that easily. I mean, I like Chris so far, but I need to get to know him more before I could say
I just
sincerely
love
that I love
just
him.
love everybody, Ron. So
Well, yeah,
You have
you
to- you have to-
obviously can't handle your 10%.
yeah.
I was gonna say it's definitely kicking in now.
Oh, yeah.
No, you guys. You have to go watch the New Year's show to find out how I get when I'm pretty drunk.
Oh,
'cause
I'm good.
I mean, New Year's Eve is coming up, Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pacing myself this time, but I don't have a co-host this year, so I have to run the whole show. So at least with Katie was there, I could fuck off and she can just go. She can keep it going whenever I needed to. But yeah,
Well, based on Nikki's confusing story about running out of alcohol, which I didn't even know was possible.
It happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stunned because we have so much at my house. But yeah, I have a lineup ready for New Year's.
you're like out of the house, Nikki?
No, not anymore. We were.
But her husband had to go shopping, or
I
she
was
would have
at
been.
the
It would have been a
point-
disaster.
Okay, so it was a bunch of boxed wine, and you pull the thing from the outside, and we squeeze. We call it squeezing the virgin, where you squeeze that little, thing inside, squeeze the skin bag, and yeah, we're down to that. We're down to squeezing the virgin. And my husband said, "Okay, I'm gonna go out and get some more wine." So he did. He went out and got me some more wine.
Ron, you made Chris laugh.
Drink it or not, I don't give a shit.
Basically, yes, drink it or not, I don't give a
So,
shit.
I'll tell you the
Bladder.
slogan I
It's
had
called
for
a bladder,
my-
I think. Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
bladder. We call it. We call it just draining the virgin. So
I
It
do
sounds
make
better
a
that way.
drink.
I mean, that would be perfect in a book.
It's got me laughing over here.
Yeah.
I do make a drink. It's not alcoholic, but I do make cider. And
give us
just-
Lahr Vineyards. Oh hell, Satan! That's his.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yes.
I do. I make a cider that has a lot of apple in it, like apple flesh in it. I call it Ron's meaty cider. And yeah, exactly. That's what my wife says. And so my
virgin
slogan, I
bladder.
co-opted it from Campbell's. It's the cider that eats like a meal.
Gross. Ew. I don't want.
That is the response everybody has, which
No.
works fine because then I get all the cider.
Oh,
So I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make some this weekend. There you go.
Madilynn, are we the only ones that our minds are going to like the
Joe was with
complete
us.
gutter? I mean, really?
Oh,
Nikki, you too?
Oh yeah, I'm
My
always.
eyes are
always.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for my listeners' thoughts.
This might be your last show, Rod. Actually, so just,
Oh, no.
just enjoy it.
Oh no.
No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
So that may be the last of the year. I mean, if you're not on
No,
New
it's
Year.
not. It's not
Oh.
though. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but
No, he gets to come in on New Year's Eve. Oh God, Ron might be the adult. Jesus.
I like to think that is always the case.
I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't say it was true. I said I like to think it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Looking at the.
That's all.
Oh my God.
Hashtag canceled.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
all right. JD wins comment of the night.
Oh, gosh.
How much do you rent it out for? That's my question.
Rent it, please. I live there.
No, 10 cents. Do the old Daffy Duck routine, cause all kinds of problems, and charge to fix them all.
You're about to be Dr. Seuss.
Mm.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
You better explain that.
Yeah, you've got multiple looks of confusion over here, man.
What the fuck does
Is
that mean?
Chris
Like,
drinking?
the
Cancel
hand in
culture.
hand?
He's-
What does that mean?
Yes, he is. He's talking about the cancel culture.
Oh,
Dr. Seuss,
Right?
they canceled him. Remember, they canceled some of his books.
sure.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I do remember that.
I had to.
For people who don't know, who haven't had the pleasure of being at When Words
Joe's
Collide,
got you.
Joshua Pantalleresco runs a class, or a.
It's not really a class.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a fun thing.
So
And,
it's a recess panel essentially for writers. I go in there and I make them goof off by reading various Dr. Seuss. You have not lived until you've heard Box and Socks in a Valley Girl voice, a
my
Russian
God.
voice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, like that would be
I've
like
had
totally
operatic
cool.
singing. I've had operatic singing. Essentially, I'm there for just two reasons. I introduce the show. I get people to start playing, and then I'm a prop if I'm needed. It's actually the easiest
Yes.
panel I do all convention. It's one of the easiest. It's so easy because everybody.
The
wants
fun
to have
is for the participants. I can tell
I
you.
want
God,
to sign
I would
up,
love
dude.
to
I
do
read Dr.
that.
Seuss books.
Yeah,
all the time
me
for
too.
that.
That would be
love it.
so
see,
much
that's
fun.
because
I
that's
would.
the reaction. See, That's
Come
the
to
reaction.
Calgary in August.
Yeah,
That's
I can
what
do.
I'm
I can do operatic or
Like you
or
can do,
or I
that's
can
what
do
the
it
whole
in an
point-
Australian
the whole-
accent.
I could do
An
a
Australian
very,
accent if you-
holiday
if you'd like.
Yeah, whatever you want.
accent.
That's the whole
Without
thing, like-
trying.
What
I
have
got,
you?
I got,
what
I
have
got
you
in
think?
trouble during. Believe it or not, I got in trouble during this event.
Oh no, it was hilarious.
What happened? What
We were
happened?
so loud. Actually, I got in trouble. I took all the responsibility. for
Yeah,
it.
Josh.
I let it
Josh
happen,
took the
but-
bullet for me on that one.
Yeah,
But I ran up to the so these rooms. They're conference rooms, right? So they have these
Partitions?
Collapse,
Yes.
no collapsible
Yes.
walls. So they're broken up by the rooms are broken up by these collapsible walls, and they're not soundproof by any means.
No.
And they were doing a very serious class next door, and I ran up to the door and yelled right at the door.
Actually, wait. He's not telling the full story. He's not telling the full story.
All right,
Here's
tell
what-
us full story.
Okay, so the whole story goes like this, right? That's awesome, Chris.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So here's the full story. So everybody was starting to really get into it. Like it took about 5 minutes, but once the first person did it, everybody did it, and it was awesome. Everybody was goofing off, having a good time. So then we were getting various text messages from different people to turn it down. So Joe Compton and Jim Jackson, in their infinite wisdom, decided to go to the biggest wall, get as loud and obnoxious as possible, and right there and then, that even the agent in the room had that one of those "I should be mad, but I really think this is hilarious" looks on her face, right? And
like when my daughter says "What the fuck," and I'm just like,
Yes.
"Don't say that."
yeah. But so we had a blast. Like the thing is, that was the second year of me doing the Dr. Seuss. The first year was not very packed. This one was packed. People heard what I did the year previously.
Yes.
They wanted to be in. Next time I do it, it's probably going to be in the evening. There will be alcohol involved, probably on some level, right? And because it first, and here's the thing, what most people don't know, it started in I do the open mic at When Worlds Collide. I actually don't like. It's funny because everybody else goes to noir at the bar. I actually go to the open mic because I get to see some really talented people. So me and Vanessa Cardui did a Fox and Socks off on the air, and I remember Tim Reynolds was watching us. He goes, I that was the best or worst thing I've ever seen, and I don't know which way to go with it because it was amazing because both of us were having fun. And from there that led to me hosting the panel the year after. It's first year, like it's a new panel. Like what are we going to get? Everybody enjoyed it. The next year, everybody really enjoyed it. So if we go back and do it again, right, it's going to be in the evening, big room, and people just are pretty much going to laugh their asses off the whole time because I know for a fact that it was a very incredibly popular. It was just an incredibly popular panel. So it's it's the easiest panel for me in the world to do. I just bring Dr. Seuss books in and let people go nuts.
Yes.
But I mean, but it's also the biggest thing I've learned in marketing as marketing for books. Try to get a person to buy something, they're like, "Fuck you." But you go, but if you go and go, "Hey, I want to play a game." Okay,
Yeah.
what do you got? And then
The Saw approach, I like it.
Yeah,
The Saw approach of marketing.
You know what? There's not a soul alive. There's not a soul alive that doesn't love to play. Not one. Mm-hmm. So if you can tap into that, you will get them to come along with you for the ride. Doesn't matter what it is. So that's what I do. It works quite well.
Well, I hope no white supremacists are watching this, Joshua.
No, that's okay.
Because I feel like you've given them you said they would do anything, follow you for anything. I feel like you've put a weapon out in the world.
I did. I started a cult. I started 3 different cults, maybe 4. Nikki would start a cult in the Huckett.
That got dark. All right.
Yes, it did. It did. It did.
A weird place.
I just worry about
I just went with it.
White
Welcome to Joe's Bar.
To Josh's point, though, the only book I sold that entire weekend was, and I didn't even expect it, it was the book that I brought to show everybody that I was an author. I did a panel on screenwriting, and somebody came up to me and asked me, "I saw you have a book there. Can I buy it?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure, $10." Which was great because I took that $10 and made 25 out of it because the exchange rate is great right now. But no, yeah.
Canada, our dollar is monopoly money.
That's why I think every American should go to When Worlds Collide because your money will go far there. So
yes, it will. And our beer's better than yours on average. So,
yeah, the exchange rate was quite nice the last time I went. So,
yes, it's nicer now. Thank God.
But yeah, no, that was interesting to me because I didn't talk about my book at all that whole weekend.
You don't
really.
have to.
Yeah, it's just
one of the biggest mistakes a lot of authors make. Buy my book. It's not a real approach. A real approach is what I did with Madilynn. We talked and negotiated with a 3-year-old. That was as real as it got.
God.
Right, but at the same token, I learned an awful lot about Madilynn. So I became a fan of. We're the brand, not our books. We're the brand. So if we're the brand, then the real job we have is, who are we? What do we stand for? And what's our story?
Yeah.
And our job is to tell that as best we can. And we do that a couple different ways. Be ourselves. And the other way is our books, the kind of stories we want to tell. So those are the two ways we do it. Make people a fan of you, they will buy your books to support you, or they will support your podcast or their other platforms, right? And that's really it's not a complicated thing. It's just recognizing like the most real thing you got is the people here. So
Joshua, you have it right, and it's so difficult for some people to divorce themselves from that creative way of thinking into a more business like approach, where you are the product and your books, even though they are your passion, are really just a product.
Well, that's it. Like,
I want a picture as your thing. Sorry.
No, it's just, look, I made a decision like the kind of stories I tell. Like I mentioned Alice's epic poetry with illustrations. That's not for everybody. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I want to be the guy that tells these really unique, experimental kind of tales. Here's the thing. My book sales will probably not be as high as some of yours because not everybody's for that flavor of ice cream. But that's my flavor of ice cream. And here's the thing. If I do hit a hit, it's going to be a home fucking run because nobody else is doing it. So, like, again, I made a very distinct choice in how I was going about doing this. It's taken me longer in some ways to get to a point, but at the same time, people know who I am, and I stand out among a crowd. That's a huge advantage for me from a brand standpoint.
Well, I think also getting to know you, Josh, and people watching your show and stuff like that are going to, you're feeding them ice cream in a sense, and that they really gravitate toward that because they go, oh, this is Josh. This is from the mind of this crazy fucker, and like I mean, when I heard when we first met, we talked about podcasting, but really we talked about how you approach writing, and I said, oh, this guy's mind works differently, and that's really cool, and that's something that I think a lot of people will gravitate toward. And ultimately, when you do, like you said, once you get that hit, it's just going to blow up because of you and who you are. It's represented in. That's why, when I was mentioning Karina's book, it's very similar. I know Karina very well. This is really, I've read some stuff of hers, but this is really the first book I've read cover to cover of hers, and it was like I could see her in a lot of this, and that's a talent, that's a power that I think a lot of authors ignore. And having interviewed tons and tons of authors talking about, there's a little bit of me in this and a little bit of me that's all well and good, but your voice is very apparent when you're talking to me, and when I see it, in what you're doing, it's like it's a warm hug. It's like, all right, I can get on board with all the smut and all the things that normally I would not gravitate towards a romance novel usually. And this is a very, very romance novel that she wrote. But I will tell you that because it's her and what I could see of what, it's not her per se, she's writing characters, but it's her voice. I could see where it would come from, the mind, because I can see how her mind works. It makes a ton of sense to me, and I gravitated toward it because of that.
So Karina has become very confident. This is the thing about her. When I first met her, she was still kind of a bit reserved. Incredibly, we all scream JD. You're damn right, we all scream for ice cream. But Karina, like the cool thing about Karina is she's embraced her talents. And by the way, I think she's amazing. Her daughter already has 2 books out. Her daughter's
crazy.
I feel so inadequate. So, I mean,
go little rock star.
That's it, right? That's it, right? Right? Yeah. Well, no, that's it. Like you have to. Every author, like I can usually tell with who I'm interviewing who I really think is going to make it because they're very comfortable with themselves. Every author's at kind of different stages.
Bye, JD.
Bye, JD.
Bye, JD.
Yeah. Every author must be comfortable with themselves and being honest with who they are and who they aren't. And I find with a lot, so if you can get out of that self-sabotaging mentality of what am I trying to fit, who am I trying to impress, fuck all that.
Don't write to market. Writing to market and trying to please the collective readers and pick the tropes that are most popular. And that's what Vanessa Morris is all based on personal experience, whether I have been through it or whether I have friends who have been through it. So it's very raw and real and sometimes graphic because I have firsthand knowledge of exactly what that is like. But Anna J. Walner is completely different voice because it's, but vampires and werewolves and things like that.
But see, I'm gonna call you out on it just slightly. Anna J. Walner is just as real as Vanessa Morris. You don't talk about the same thing. No.
The same context either.
Yeah.
But
there's more. I think there's more genuineness. There's more authenticity behind the words that are in Vanessa Morris's books.
That might be true. But the best genre stuff, like romance, like the best people that you can be as formulaic as fuck, but there's something in there that's real. And I'm gonna make a little wager without reading you that Anna J. Walner has a little bit of that Vanessa Morris in her that's real. I'm gonna make that bet. Werewolves and vampires, that doesn't matter. I have a unicorn that farts rainbows and advertisements in one of my books, and I did that just for shits and giggles, right? But the shit I cared about was still there, still real, right?
Sure.
It doesn't matter what you write, you're there. Now the question is, are you honest enough with yourself to go, what part of that is me? Because if you are honest with yourself with that,
the first book in the Allure Legacy series is all me because it's based on my adoption. I just took it and I twisted it up. Like if I did go back to Australia to meet my biological family and they happen to be part of a secret society of vampires and werewolves, that would be pretty fucking cool. Awesome. With Vanessa Morris, I started with, it was just time. I had come to that place in my life where I was finally ready to write about some of the things that I had experienced in my life. And I found the perfect vehicle and the perfect topic, and it came to me at the perfect time, and it just wouldn't let me go. And that's when I knew I had something that I had to write.
Yeah.
So as dark as it is.
So, but it's real. That's the thing.
Very.
Right? So, that's the thing. Both of them are real. There's different kinds. There's different levels of real, right? So
right. Yes.
So right. They're just different levels of real. Like again, partly because you're writing to a specific audience in one case, but another, I threw out all the fucks for the amphetamine girls. I mean, there were 2 trash can fulls of fucks that I threw out, and just went there. Yeah.
I mean, the dedication says to all the women who were told they aren't good enough. Fuck what they tell you.
Yeah, and like I said, that's important, right? Once you became comfortable with that, I'm willing to bet once you actually wrote that book, not just because of the genre and stuff, but also like it was probably became more successful because it's a realer you, right? It just kind of put kind of things into a certain degree of alignment, and once you did that, you're good. And like I said, and to anybody listening that's doing genre or formulaic stuff, there's nothing wrong with that if that's who you are. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, because your voice is going to show up. Your voice, who you are, is going to show up in a lot of what you're writing about.
But writing for a young adult audience is a lot different than writing for an adult audience. And I think you kind of have to censor yourself.
Well, that's more of a technical aspect of it. That's more of that's more of an authory thing about it. It's more of a professional idea about it. It's not so much. You're not tempering your voice to a certain extent. You're tempering it down, but you still there.
Modulating the language and the content so that it's suitable for younger viewers, or younger readers.
But it's still it's still Anna, it's still Vanessa, it's still whoever you see when you look in the mirror. Same person, whatever, regardless of the challenge that comes out of it.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I think
we got some deep shit.
Yeah, there you go. And welcome to Just Bar again. Thank you so much. Let's go around and Madilynn, make sure you let everybody know where they can go to hang out with us tomorrow, because I'm going to be there tomorrow, everybody.
Yes.
So, yes, tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on this weekend.
All right, guys. So I am actually having a party. It's kind of an end of the year / celebrating 500 follower group members. But I actually have the link to my Facebook group on my website here. You can find all my social media there, all my books as well. I am published widely, so check it out and follow me.
Joshua, you want to tell everybody where they can get Alice One and everything else you're doing?
Give me just a second here while I get myself prepared, because I'm a trained professional and stuff like that. Because that's right. That's right. They gave me an award for being this prepared, folks. They really, really did. It's true. Oh, it's true. So Alice One is available on Amazon worldwide, so you can buy it or read it. Is there a place I can put the link in, Joe? Is there a place I can put the link in? Wait up.
I'll put the exact link in the description box.
Okay, so Alice One is available exclusively on Amazon as a digital book. You can buy it or read it. So the basic gist is simple. Alice chases the Queen of Hearts over the edges of the world and lands inside the Greek underworld. There she meets Jason and plays croquet, try to get out of the labyrinth underneath. In so doing, Alice and company encounter gods, monsters, and perhaps the greatest nightmare of them all, themselves. Really had a blast. We're doing this telling of Alice Meets Pandora's Box. It was super fun to write, super fun. I hope you guys check it out. Kenzie Carr killed it on illustrations. Beyond that, my podcast, Just Joshing, just hit 700 episodes. I'm always looking for sponsorships. I'm always looking for things like that nature. If you got a book you want to promote for January or Kickstarter you want to promote for January, give me a shout. Definitely can do something for you there. And beyond all that, guys, honestly, thank you very much for an amazing year. Have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, or don't get caught, whatever you subscribe to.
You could come hang out with me New Year's Eve, Josh?
I will come out and hang out with you New Year's Eve.
Cool, awesome. I look forward to that. I already know Maddie was, so that's why I didn't ask her. So, but all right, Nikki, you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Nikki Nelson Hicks. You can find my website somewhere. I'm too drunk to figure it out. Yes, you can find all my stuff on Amazon. Go to my website. If you're looking for something cheap, quick, and weird to put into some stockings this year, check me out. I'm everywhere. Thanks.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, everybody go see how she tortures Jake Ishkenhead.
Ishkenhead. Yes, I torture the poor. Oh my God, yes.
Hopefully, I see you on New Year's Eve as well.
But yes, I'll plan on popping by. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Awesome.
I've got nothing to do. I go somewhere? Are you crazy?
All right, Anna, do I tell everybody where they could get the awesome Vanessa Morris books and the awesome Anna J. Walner books too, please?
Yeah, everything is, I have annajwalner.com. Everything physical is across the board wide through Ingram Spark, so Barnes & Noble, Amazon. My digital copies are all on KU, so Vanessa Morris. This will be coming out in March. The first book of the Allure Legacy series. The second is out now. The third will be dropping in May. The fourth and final book sometime next year. I actually have 5 books coming out next year. So busy 2022 for me. Definitely hit me up on TikTok, y'all, and my other social media accounts as well.
I just perused it. It's fantastic, everybody. I just followed her. It looks pretty cool. She does some really cool stuff there, so I'm real excited about. Because I
have a lot of fun.
Nikki and I send videos back to one another on TikTok, so I have a feeling we're going to be sending a lot of your stuff back and forth. So
I have a lot of fun on TikTok, for reals.
So much fun.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome to come hang out with us too New Year's Eve. If you got nothing else going on, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you back for other things, and I'll talk to you more about that off the air. But thank you so much for being here and joining us. It was really awesome to have you. So,
my pleasure.
All right. Speaking of awesome to have, and I was joking when I said this was his last show, because it's definitely not. It better not be, because I don't know where I would be without my fix of Ron Lahr. I really wouldn't, because
it was very hurtful. I'm very. You guys can tell I'm very sensitive.
Yeah. Mr. Lahr, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Well, I mean, I put my website in my name.
You got to point to it, you know,
So-
do the fancy point thing.
Well, I tend to think if you're that dumb that you can't find it, well, I still want you to buy my books. Ugh, such a horror. It's a horror. But anyway, I have a fantasy trilogy, the Catholic Chronicles. You can find links to it at my website. All my stuff so far is just on Amazon, although Maddie's participating in this. We're doing an anthology of stories that take place in the world of the Catholic
It's going to
Chronicles.
be awesome.
A bunch of authors are participating in it, and that will be wide. And that should be out in a few months. And then I have my magnum opus, You're as Stupid as You Are Fat, How to Talk to Women. And that's really a gift from me to the readers to educate them. I didn't do it for the money or the fame. It was for you guys. Because
So
I'm here to
altruist.
teach. I'm here to teach people.
Jesus Christ.
And thank you. See, that's what I hear a lot from the fans. And then I have my humorous fantasy or science fiction novel, You Get What You Steal. It's coming out in a month or two. And then for anybody who would like to prove Josh wrong, I am going to say buy my books, and then you can buy them to really stick it to him.
Right. That's right. Stick it to me. Buy Ron's book.
Yeah, let's show that guy.
Let's show the world how wrong I am. Fuck that
Please,
guy.
pretty please.
And I'm Joe Compton. This is Going In Out. Congratulations, you found us. You know the drill by now. I shouldn't have to say this every show, but I'm going to because, you know, this is my buy my book moment, and that is smash the like button, comment, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things. Come and join me. I'm going to be hanging out with Maddie tomorrow. I'm also going to be hanging out on Spilling Ink tomorrow night. We're going to do our now annual, because we've done it twice now, our annual year-end review with Katie and Jane tomorrow. So I'll be on there. So come hang out with us over there on Spilling Ink, and which I'm real excited about. And come back here on the 26th of December. I was going to have a show on my birthday, but I decided I'm probably not up for that. So we're going to have a week off, you know, celebrate my birthday in style by, you know, watching other shows that we do and liking and commenting on those. That would be the best birthday present you could give me. But that being said, you can also just say happy birthday on Facebook. That's fine. Actually, that's not fine. Go watch a video of Go Indie Now and like it and do all those wonderful things. That would be really great. That would be the ultimate birthday present to me. But other than that, as I make my 49th trip around the sun this year, thank you to everybody for being around here, and I really appreciate it. And come back on the 26th, like I was trying to say, and got sidetracked by my own thoughts. Come back on the 26th because that's our year end. That's going to be the year in Indies. I've got some really great guests who are lined up to talk about their favorites, books, movies, and music of indie fashion of 19. Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
No.
2021. And because, you know, I want to be back in 1980 because
God.
This is a dumpster fire every year. But
Me too, because I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet
Oh,
either.
shut the hell up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
a 91 baby, guys.
Oh, shut the hell up.
Actually, Joe, can I mention one other thing for you?
Yeah, sure.
Check out his books. Honestly, Joe actually is a great. Bill's Lone Secret. Joe's an incredibly talented artist in his own right. He has spent a very long time building all of us up. We should all do the same. We the Moral Majority is a fantastic read. You should definitely go check it out, guys. It's a great, fun read, all things considered. I can't wait till he does his fantasy series he keeps talking about. So that's but
It is on Amazon, guys. It's on Amazon. Check it out.
But that all said, guys, Joe Compton is as amazing a writer as he is a producer, and you should definitely take a moment, if you haven't already, take a look at his books.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. That's really
He
nice.
is reading from one of his books tomorrow, guys, in
Mhm.
my Facebook group too.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that being said, it's always
He's
time to go
blushing
in
now,
now.
folks.
It's always time to go in now, and the bar is closed.